What's going on, YouTube? Today we just gonna have some fun with the boost kicks in. So basically, what I was originally gonna film this before I left Arizona, but I just wanted to show you guys a couple of my favorite cars to drive. If you listen to my last video, I talked about how low downforce brings out more of the cars are more challenging because that arrow isn't there to help you out. So we're gonna drive 3 cars today at a couple different tracks. It's more of a chill session, but no traction, no ABS. I just want you guys to see how vicious some of these cars are. We're gonna do the C9 at Le Mans. We're gonna do Formula USA at Indianapolis, old school Formula USA, and we're gonna do um, the Lotus 98T at Monza. Stay tuned. Like I said, chill episode, but these cars will bite your head off. Stay tuned. All right. Before we go on track, like I said, so there are the newer cars. They're fun. Don't get me wrong. They have a lot of power, but they also have a lot of aero. And aero means confidence, means grip. So we sticking in the late '90s, early '90s, late '80s. Before I look at this is the Formula or Indy car. But we're gonna go to the old school ones. So there are a couple, and they do have some aero, like even this one. You know, it has this vertical fin on it, and you know that all that stuff helps. And this is actually from the era of the Beast IndyCar. Um, Super cool story, but these cars are actually single turbo V8s, 2.65 liters. But look at this power, look at this torque, look at that top speed, right? So that's one car we're gonna hop on. But the earlier versions have even less aero. So like this one, we're gonna go. Let's go here. So we're gonna go here, and then we got Group C. I'm scrolling all over the place. Gonna go here, this bad boy, and then we're gonna go Formula Classic Gen 1. This bad boy. So let's go ahead and we'll start here. And like I said, I got no real objective today besides showing like the fun cards are challenging, right? We'll even kick it time accurate. So we'll go ahead and hop on track. Be right back. All right, Lotus 98T. Now, this is the 80s when these cars were heavily turbocharged. There was no dual ball bearing. There was no twin scroll. There was no um, there was barely traction control. And these cars used to make 800 horsepower to the race, but for qualifying, they used to run around 1200 horsepower, which is insane to think about. But it's funny, like, obviously I'm a Senna fan, but I'm even bigger, like, Lotus fan. The only way this car would be cooler is if it won the championship, which unfortunately it didn't. That's okay. I think Senna got like 3rd place overall. Look at that. But you can see the speed is there. I'm trying to be careful. I'm not huge on Monza. Like, I can't drive it in my sleep. I really gotta like focus in. But it's a super iconic car. Like I said, the fact that they used to race these with 1200 horsepower. Look at that. Wheel almost has to be pointed straight. Otherwise, you're kind of screwed. at that. Handful. Handful. Alright. Let's get a pusher lap in. Only 5 speeds though. It almost feels wrong to drive the late 80s stuff without without an 8 pattern. Ah shit. Boost kicks in. Anyways, these are some of the more fun cars, and probably look at that. Like you have to, if you don't short shift and you're really careful with the throttle. Yeah, no traction control. It does have brake bias, so that helps. Try one more time, get a good lap in. But I don't want the video to be too long. It's funny, like, I remember hearing about the 1.6 turbos that we now have in F1. Immediately goes back to these. They're only 0.1 apart. But these cars have so much more character. You know, like Matt said the other day, with the how efficient the new stuff is. These have so much character. They got turbo lag. They got boost spike. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Did not finish. Anyway, yeah, look, my back tires are fried too. You can see it. Be right back, guys. Alright, C9. You can argue this is the fastest pre-chicane Le Mans car. And I really wish they had the no chicanes version of the track on here. And honestly, I'm wondering what they're waiting on. But anyway, the 5-liter twin turbo V8. Same thing. Yeah, look at that. And it's super easy to drive with it's surprisingly easy to drive in its high downforce layout. And another thing this game doesn't have that regular Assetto does have is the boost, right? Even at lower boost, just look how it's climbing through the speeds, how fast it gets to 200. I'll have to double check the top speed record for this car. I want to say like 248, 249 before we got chicanes. Boost. I want to say it was 248 because the Peugeot went 251 in like a practice session. But this is the fastest like successful Group C car, I guess. Uh-oh. These cars are so much easier with the paddle shifters, and it's no surprise the old heads don't think the sport is as challenging as it used to be. Boost got me. Uh, Now, this next car probably the fastest in the game, and that's the at least for me, um, it's the most challenging car to drive and like put together a decent lap, and that is the Indy car, formerly USA, and it's actually cool because I actually prefer these over the F1 cars, simply because the turbo lag is kind of fun to have to navigate, and there's a whole bunch of them: Ford, Cosworth, or Lola Ford, Lola Mercedes, Lola Toyota, Reynard Ford, Reynard Honda, Reynard Mercedes, Reynard Toyota, and you got the new one. I mean, those in real life they're Honda and Chevy, but we don't care about that. Look how much of a power difference. So you got 685 horsepower, 317 pound-feet, 32 liveries. So like that's cool. There's a bunch of them, and they're designed to have wheel to wheel without the wheel exploding. But when you look at these Gen 3, 910 horsepower. So they got all the juice, all the jam, whatever you want to call it. Let's go to Indy. And like I said, this was the bigger motivation for the video, this car in particular. But I thought about like, what are a couple other ones I can do to kind of show off AMS and, you know, just kind of talk about the old days. Alright, 15,000 RPM, zero torque, and a bunch of power. You can kind of hear as it comes online. Cars look, you tell how quick it wants to oversteer. I'm not even full throttle. It's a missile though. It's actually a 6-speed. Oversteer, oversteer. Now, cool thing about Indy, they actually they actually go based off of miles per hour for an average, not like lap time. Jesus. But that's very different. And I actually like Champ Car a lot. This is back when I didn't know the difference between Champ Car and Indy Car and F1, and it was all confusing to me. But I had never played a sim, driven on a sim that had these old Indy cars on there. And I mean, these new engines kind of put these old engines kind of put the new ones to shame. My opinion, like they got RPM, they got noise, they got power. Ah, Jesus. All right, that's a new type of. Is that boost kicking in? that's a that's a new one. Listen how good that car sounds, though. Like I said, just hanging out. Still see me fighting it. Alright, so we got the car back. It's hilarious. Okay. I talk about how hard the cars are to drive, and then I end the. I'm not gonna end the video with the car upside down, but it's just funny that that happened. I guess I want to see it, see what I did to manage to get the dang on car upside down in the pits. And you could tell that thing got zero downforce. You can tell. Oh, there it goes. Backwards reverse into pit entry. Can't tell me I'm not the best racer, you know. Anyways, let's see what we can top this Indy car out at. Since we already messing around, let's see what she can top out at. Look at that. Cold tires. Still proves my point. Got a short shift. It's a 250 mile an hour car for sure. $50. These were actually the cars that were so fast that they tried to race at Texas Motor Speedway. 51. They tried to race at Texas Motor Speedway and pulling constant G's for going too fast. The drivers kept getting sick. So I just go to show how ridiculous these cars are. Anyways, guys. 251. With that being said, all right. Last thing. I mentioned wanting to do a league with Matt on the one of our podcast videos, and we kind of trying to get figured out, started on tracks and cars and assists and all of those things. In my head, you can do the IMSA approach, which is multi-class, GTE, LMDH, rain, weather. Same with GT3. But the only thing is, if we do multi-class, there has to be a bunch of computer in there. So what I'm thinking, either we do GT3 by itself, or we do LMDH. I'm actually partial to GT3 if we're gonna do rain and damage. If so, that's one idea I have. The other would be if we're gonna do like a sprint format, GT1, and then lastly, it's between Formula USA Classic, so Gen 2 or Gen 3, and like deciding on one of these F1 time periods to go with. But we're in the process of figuring all that stuff out. But I did want to start to put it on the channel, and then obviously another easy one is Group C. But basically, in my head, we do sprints without damage, or we do more of an endurance style format. If we're doing endurance, I definitely would want to do LMDH, and if we're doing endurance with weather, that's when I would want to do GT3. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed just coming and hanging out. Feel free to comment down below which type of league appeals to you the most, and we'll start from there and work our way around. Stay tuned. I'm gonna keep doing these videos. Something to do, and like I said, just having fun at the end of the day, guys. Apex Vision out.